If you're a real estate agent in 2026 and your plan for getting leads this year is still just staying top of mind or posting to be consistent, I have some tough news for you. Consistency without intent is just noise. The market has shifted. Consumers are no longer impressed by your just listed graphics or dancing reels. In 2026, buyers and sellers are looking for authority. They are looking for the agent who has the data, the systems, and the answers to the questions they are actually typing into Google and YouTube at 2 a.m. But here's the problem. Most agents spend so much time trying to be content creators that they stop being real estate agents. They spend 5 hours a week in Canva, 3 hours trying to find trending audio, and 0 hours actually talking to qualified leads. I'm Meg Estes, and today I'm going to show you my streamline and scale content engine. This isn't a strategy to help you get more likes. This is a strategy to get you more listings and more buyers. I'm going to show you exactly how I create 30 days of high intent lead generating content in just 3 hours a month. I don't guess what to post. I don't wait for inspiration. I use high tech, low friction workflows that start with deep data research in Manus, move into AI strategy with ChatGPT and Gemini, and ends up with a repeatable Trello workflow that keeps my business running while I sleep. Whether you're focused on short form reels or long form YouTube masterclasses or both, this is the blueprint to stop chasing leads and start attracting them. If you're ready to finally treat your content like an operating system rather than just a hobby, we need to get started right now. Now, before we record a single word, we have to talk about the why. The biggest mistake I see agents make is creating content based on what they think is interesting, or worse, what other agents are doing. In the Streamline and Scale system, we focus on high intent content. What is high intent? It's content that answers a specific problem. For example, if you make a video titled 5 Tips for Sellers, that is low intent. Everyone is making that. Everyone. But if you make a video titled The 2026 Property Tax Loophole for Maricopa County Homeowners, that is high intent. That person watching that isn't just browsing. They are a homeowner with a specific pain point. That is a lead. To find these leads, we have to move away from the viral mindset. You don't need 100,000 views from people in other states. You need 100 views from people in your zip code who are ready to move in the next 90 days. This requires a shift in how you view your content. Now, most agents have a negative ROI because they spend 10 hours on video that gets 0 leads. My goal for you today is to flip that script. We are going to use data to ensure that every minute you spend in front of the camera is a minute spent building a lead generating asset. This starts with Manus. If you aren't using Manus yet, you are working with a blindfold on. Manus is my market intelligent tool. It allows me to see exactly what the market sentiment is, what the hidden pain points are in my local area, and what questions are being asked that no other agent is answering. We don't start with a feeling, we start with finding. And let me show you how. So the first hour of my 3-hour monthly session is dedicated entirely to research. I open up Manus. Unlike standard search engines, Manus acts as a deep dive research assistant. I'm looking for the gap. What is the market talking about that agents are ignoring? For example, I might ask Manus to analyze the latest local legislative changes regarding short-term rentals or new construction zoning in a specific suburb. Manus will pull that data, the sentiment, and the most common hurdles people are facing. I'm looking for search volume versus content difficulty. If 5,000 people a month are searching for how to buy a home with a 1031 exchange in 2026, and only 2 agents have made videos on that, That is my number one topic. I gather 4 to 5 pillar topics from my long form content and about 10 to 12 micro topics for my short form content. Here is the 2026 secret. Lead generation isn't about being the best agent. It's about being the most useful agent. When I have my research from Manus, I have a list of raw data points. I have statistics, I have new articles, and I have a list of frustrations from local buyers and sellers. But raw data doesn't make a good video. You can't just read a spreadsheet to a camera and expect people to call you. You need a strategy. You need a script that hooks viewers, identifies their pain, presents a solution, and most importantly, moves them into your CRM. This is where we move from research to intelligence. This is where we plug our Manus findings into ChatGPT or Gemini to build our high intent scripts. Now we enter the brain phase. I take my findings from Manus and I head over to ChatGPT or Gemini. But I'm not just saying, write me a real estate script. That's how you get generic, boring, and content that sounds like a robot. In my system, I use high intent prompting. I feed the AI data from Manus and I give it specific persona. You are a high-level real estate strategist and a copywriter. Your goal is to write a script that identifies a specific pain point for insert target audience and positions me as the only local solution. I use a 3-part scripting structure that the AI follows. The pattern, interrupt, hook. We have 3 seconds to stop the scroll. We don't start with, "Hi, I'm Meg." We start with, "The reason your home hasn't sold in the last 30 days has nothing to do with your price." That is what we call the value bridge. Next, we have the value bridge. This is where we use the Manus data. We explain the why behind the problem. We educate the viewer. We provide the aha moment. Then we have the intentional call to action. We don't say like and subscribe. We say, if you're dealing with this specific tax issue, download my 2026 seller guide below or book a 15-minute strategy call with me. The AI helps me figure out exactly what content I'm making for the month. It creates the titles, the hooks, and the full scripts for both my long form YouTube videos and my short form reels. But here is the most important part of the phase, the build out. When the AI generates the script, it doesn't just give me words to say. My build out prompt tells the AI to include the visual hooks, which is what should be on the screen in the first 3 seconds, the B-roll instructions, which is what footage my VA uses during the value bridge, and the lead magnet, which specific PDF or automation from my Lofty CRM should be mentioned. By the time I'm done with this phase, I have a full production folder. I'm not just a person with a script, I'm a director with a plan. This is how you ensure that when you send your footage to an editor or a VA, it comes back looking like a $10,000 production. Once the scripts and the build out details are finalized, they move into my Trello board workflow. Trello is the command center for the streamline and the scale system. I have a card for every single piece of content. Attached to that card is the script, the thumbnail concept, and the build out instructions for my team. This is the operational part of the system. I can see at a glance exactly where my content stands for the month. When it comes time to record, which is the final hour of my 3-hour session, I don't have to think. When it comes time to record, which is the final hour of my session, I don't have to think. I just open Trello, copy the script, and upload it into my teleprompter app. Why a teleprompter? Because winging it is the enemy of efficiency. When you wing it, you ramble. When you ramble, your edit takes longer. When your edit takes longer, your VA costs more money. Using a teleprompter allows me to deliver a 10-minute masterclass in exactly 10 minutes. I know my hooks are tight, I know my value is clear, and I know my CTAs are direct. I record my 8 long form videos and my 12 short form videos back to back. For short form, I use the same setup. I just flip the camera vertically and the process is identical. This technique ensures that my energy stays high and my messaging stays consistent. By the time I turn off the camera, my job as a talent is done. I move the Trello cards to the editor column and my VA takes it from there. People often ask me, Meg, should I do long form or short form? In 2026, the answer is both, but with different goals. Short forms like Reels, TikToks, Shorts, etc. is your billboard. Its job is to grab attention and drive people to your profile or your long form content. It's high energy, high speed, and high volume. Long form, YouTube, is your salesperson. Its job is to build deep trust, show your expertise, and move the lead into your CRM. This is where you actually teach the agent or the consumer. My system works for both because the source code is the same. The research from Manus doesn't change. The AI strategy doesn't change. Only the format changes. For example, I might take a long form video about 3 ways to lower your monthly mortgage in 2026, and my AI will help me pull 3 separate 30-second hooks. Reel 1, the secret mortgage hack the banks won't tell you. Reel 2, why 2026 is the year of the rate buy down. And Reel 3, stop paying 7% interest. Do this instead. All 3 of these reels drive the viewer from the long form video, which then drives them into my Lofty CRM. This is how you build a content web. No matter where a lead finds you, they are eventually funneled into your world. They see that you have the data, they see that you have the systems, and they realize that you are the only agent who's actually providing the solutions they need. So we have covered the full 2026 content operating system today. Manus for data-driven research, ChatGPT or Gemini for high intent scripting and build out details, Trello for the operational workflow, and teleprompters for rapid professional production. This system is how I and the agents I partner with are able to stay at the top of the market without being the mercy of the algorithm. But I know what some of you are thinking. Meg, this sounds amazing, but I don't want to build this myself. I don't want to figure out these prompts or the Trello boards or the VA handoffs. And this is exactly why I have built the Streamline and Scale systems inside the Wolfpack at eXp. This is exactly why I have built the Streamline and Scale systems using the Wolfpack at eXp Realty. When you partner with me, you don't just get a mentor, you get the operating system. I give my partners the exact AI prompts I use, the Trello board templates, and the VA build out instructions. I've already done the heavy lifting, so you can just focus on what you do best, closing deals and building your team. If you're a high producing agent and you're ready to stop the content struggle and start lead engineering your business, I have 2 options for you. First, shoot me a text so that I can send you my 30 days of content workflow. It breaks down the Manus to AI steps we talked about today. Or